This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sophia Yvette.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a franchise consultant? Well, one may be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Shawn Gurn with HOF Franchise Consulting. Shawn, it is so lovely to have you on today. Now, start off by telling our listeners what HOF stands for, and then we'll get into a little bit more about your company.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me as well. HOF is just Hall of Fame. Just trying to provide a little bit more distinction to the types of franchises or the types of experiences I have for people when they try to find out about business ownership.
I love that. Now let's go deeper into your business. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah. So as a consultant, it's one of those things where a lot of people don't realize we exist. Folks who have a decision that they want to change careers, maybe become a business owner, the first thing people tend to do is to go online and start to look around. And I know this from experience. I did this myself. And I learned that there's a lot of people out there that all they want to do is close you. They want you to get you into a business. They don't necessarily want to have your best interests at heart. So I've learned about the ability to be a consultant through having some interactions with one when I made a bad choice of my own. I went and bought a restaurant, which was probably the worst thing I could have done at the time. Prior to COVID. But long story short, I found that I enjoyed the ability to learn about business ownership options, and I became a certified consultant so I could help other folks better navigate the vast variety of franchises that are out there. There's literally close to 4,000 or more different franchise models. So if you try to do that on your own, you're really going to be buried with information, if you don't really have a goal in mind or a distinct path to get to where you want to go. Consultant is there to basically be your resource and your guide, to kind of take away all the pressure. I'm not a sales guy. I say that to all my clients. I'm here to help you make the right decision. And that decision could be not to do anything. And that is totally fine. I'm here for the process to help you find the options that make the most sense for you. And the best thing is my costs are free. There's no cost to work with me because the franchises consider me to be a qualifying recruiter. So if I make a match with a franchise model with the candidate, it's because I've done the research to determine this is the right fit. And they will then compensate me to help them find good owners.
Amazing. Now, what is the most common misconception you come across when working with some of these clients to find the right franchise for them?
Probably I talk to most people off the ledge about buying a restaurant. Not that I have I have a little bit of a history. I was in restaurant marketing for a very long time before I became a franchise owner and then a franchise consultant. But most people think when they think of franchises, well, I'm going to be talking about McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or something like that. Like McDonald's or a restaurant seems to be the most common understanding of what a franchise is. And I help to break through that mindset to say, basically, if you really take a step back, there's so many more different ways to work in a franchise model. You could work from home. You can work at home services. You can work with kids. You can work with seniors. There's so many more options out there beyond a restaurant. I will absolutely help someone find the right restaurant if that's what they want. But I would say the majority of folks, if they really think about it, there are far better ways or maybe more comfortable ways to earn a living than trying to run a restaurant. And I speak from experiences, of course.
Well, Shawn, let's go ahead and switch gears here for a second. Now, we do know that marketing is the heart of every business. So ideally, what type of clients are you looking to help this year, and how are you currently attracting them?
I absolutely want to talk to folks who are at a career transition. They're the ones who are either unhappy with their work, might be on the verge of being downsized, or maybe they're at that point where they're starting to feel the effects of ageism. They can't find that next gig because they've aged themselves out of being employed. And a lot of employers look at, they want the younger folks to bring on versus those who are seasoned and demand more salary. So those are the ones I feel have the best connection with because I live that as well. I became a consultant also because I was not really looking forward to trying to find another gig as a marketer at 50 plus. So that's probably the number one. So I find a lot of folks through LinkedIn. I find a lot of folks through peer reviews. I pride myself on having previous clients refer me to other folks in their peer group because they appreciate the experience they had with me. They appreciate that I'm not a hard salesperson. I'm here to help them learn about options and discover more about themselves, and that they valued that effort I put into them and feel good enough to pass me along to their friends and family.
Shawn, what are the core values of your business?
Number one, I'm not a sales guy. I'm not a sales guy. I'm not a sales guy. I am agnostic to the outcome. All I want you to do is to make the right choice for you and your family. So I'll say that multiple times. I'm here to provide a resource to learn and understand. My whole purpose is I want you to learn as much as you can. And that decision to do something or not to do something is yours to make, but it comes from a position of being informed. So that's my purpose. And again, if you decide not to do anything at all, I'm more than happy. That's the right choice for you. You came to that decision because I helped you figure that out. And then the third one is, and I think I said this before, I am agnostic to the outcome. I don't have a small set of franchise models that I push people toward. I am actually listening to them, my clients, understanding where their skill sets are, what their goals are, and I'm hoping to make the correct match to find the option that makes sense for them. And not every candidate I work with is the same. So I kind of have that mindset every time. I'm starting over with each new client, fresh perspective, fresh research, and making sure that they have the best experience possible.
I love that. And where does your heart for helping people really come from?
Honestly, I've been a sales and marketing for such a long time. And it became the point where I got tired of trying to make people make a decision that didn't make sense for them, or spending money that they didn't necessarily want to spend. And I felt like I don't want to do that anymore. And I figured out that, my experience as becoming a franchise owner was such a illuminating step for me that I made choices without really understanding what I was doing. And now I look back on that and said, I wish I had known me back then, that I could have made the right choice for myself, put myself in a better position. And I feel like I can really guide people to make the right choices that will help them make mistakes or avoid making mistakes that I made.
Well, Shawn, it's not what you go through, it's what you grow through.
Exactly.
Now, final question, where can our listeners go to learn more about HOF franchise consulting?
Obviously, my website. It's a long one. Obviously, HOFfranchiseconsulting.com. You can always reach out to me at Shawn, SHAWN, at HOFfranchiseconsulting.com. I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, under HOF Franchise Consulting. Feel free to reach out. I love to help people navigate this space.
Well, Shawn, I really appreciate you being on the show today. We wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfrisco.com. That's gnpfrisco.com. Or call 469-221-9345.